Alrighty guys, thanks for coming back again. As you can see, I have a Taurus. I've had this one for a while. If you watch any of my shorts, I have shot this a couple times on that. But this is the first time I'm doing kind of a tabletop first impressions and initial impressions. So as you can see, pretty easy. It is a 1911. And she is clear. So one thing real quick, I know a lot of people don't really care about the case, but Taurus has done a pretty good job here as opposed to some of the other companies out there anymore. It's a nice case. You get basically just your regular old closed cell foam. They have an area for a cleaning rod, but they don't come with one in this one. But it comes with two mags. These are Taurus brand, but they are, on the other side, it states that it is a Metgar, which are made in Italy and have a pretty decent, reporting on them. Everybody usually says that these are pretty well good to go. So, as I said, you do get two, and then you do, oops, wrong way. Then you do get a Taurus branded bushing wrench. So, decent enough quality. But in terms of that, it does come with this cheap, flimsy little chamber flag. Okay, enough about the case. Let's get right into it. So, by and large, this is your run-of-the-mill government size 1911. So, weights are all pretty similar and what you would expect from any other one. So I won't go too far into that. But this is called the Dual Tone from Taurus. This is a model that they have. You can get it in 45 ACP, which this one is, or 9mm. And it has this very nice, high polished, brushed stainless slide here on these flats. So it really pops. I'll kind of start on the top and work my way down. But one thing you know is it does come with Novak brand sights, as you can see there, which are just your standard 3-dot white sights. But they're what appear to be pretty decent quality. The serrations have a very, I don't know how you would describe it, but they're very wide and then they're very narrow. As you can kind of see, very sharp. You can get really good grip on there. They have a little bit of a forward leaning slant, but they work very well. In terms of the back as well, you can get a good grip on them. The way that they do this, the polish sheeting here, really leaves a nice edge on each area, especially on the back here. Very crisp, sharp edge. You can tell they just worked right to it. On the top you have a matte black finish, which I don't know if you would call that a parkerization, Cerakote, or what. But very nice. You know, you're not going to run into any issues with glare or anything like that. You do have a flared ejection port here as well, which is a nice feature, especially in modern ones. The engraving here is very nicely done. Decent texturing to it, and it's got that black color inlaid in there. Now, what's funny is they did a really nice job on the engraving here, but on the barrel here, you can see it's just kind of like dot stamping engraving, not really crisp. Same thing with the serial number and stuff like that. So I guess they could do a little better on that, but in terms of this part, it looks really nice. But yeah, another thing to note, it is made in Brazil, these 1911s. Even though on the other side it says Taurus with their new plant in Bainbridge, Georgia. So I would assume obviously made in Brazil, and obviously shipped and sold from the Bainbridge, Georgia facility. Couple other things here. It does have a full-length guide rod, factory. Pretty, well, decent bushing. You know, nothing particularly special about that. Another thing to note is, as you can see, this is a Series 80, so it has a firing pin block. So, you know, up to anybody on what they think of a Series 80 versus a Series 70. Series 80, if you don't know, is the firing pin block system. Series 70 is without. So a lot of people say that you have a nicer trigger pull with the Series 70, and I find myself subscribing to that belief. But that's being said, it's a decent trigger pull. It's a little on the long side. You can tell that's maybe a little heavier than other 1911s in this class. But with that being said, you also have some adjustability here, so you can, you know, adjust your placement of the trigger. It also comes with some serrations on the trigger as well. And actually, the trigger construction is really nicely finished as well. When we get to the frame, on their website, they state that these are a forged frame. So that's nice, always like that. You can see that it does have a ambi safety. That ambi safety, very crisp, very positive locking. I'd say it's maybe a little mushy when you push it down into the fire, but I don't think you'll hit that accidentally or anything like that when you're carrying. But yes, it does work, which is great. If it didn't, you'd be hearing much different words from me. The hammer is kind of a nice looking, almost a retro commander style. I really like it. Very simple. Yeah, pretty cool looking. One thing to note in this price range, which I guess I should mention the price. I picked this up for $609 at the couple months back, so I'm not really sure if they changed. The MSRP in terms of Taurus's website says $790, but at $609, it fits right in there with a lot of your entry level on the higher end, and on your higher end of your entry level. So I guess I would compare this more to Rock Island Armories, maybe some nicer TSOS as well. So for that, I think you do get a lot of nice features. You get some nice checkering here on the front strap. Now, one thing to note, I'm not sure if this is a design feature, but you can see that there is a little bit of the shallowness to the engraving here, or for the checkering. So you can see it's kind of muted out, but in terms of that, it has a really nice feel, really nice texture. Get your grip on it. And the mainspring housing is the same as well, but nicer finish. So you have a nice memory notch here on the beaver tail safety. Has a standard, well, standard anymore, extended beaver tail, so you can get a nice high purchase up on it. Another thing to note, it has these really cheap Taurus bowl logo grip panels. As you can hear, they're pretty hollow. They're just a basic polymer grip. I personally think that these would look really nice with some rosewood grips, or maybe a nice color combo from like a G10 style. But you know, that's aesthetic, but I think that if, whoop, almost lost the camera here. Don't want to do that. But in terms of aesthetic and price point wise, I think like another 20 bucks for some bulk bought rosewood grips would really make this dual tone look a lot nicer, make it pop quite a bit. But other than that, really, I would have to say that Taurus has came a long ways from the standard PT 1911 look that they do have, or guns that they've had in the past. I think that Taurus is making a lot of headway in a lot of their firearm lines. I think some of that is carrying over into the 1911. I've shot this a couple outings and have had pretty decent success with it. No huge issues to write home about, just maybe, you know, just maybe some getting used to the trigger. It's a little bit different for me. This would be my first Series 80 style 1911. So really trying to decide if that makes as big of a deal as some other people say it does. But I guess I'm not what you would call a competition or very distinguished shooter. So, but yeah, I mean, I think for the price, you're getting a pretty decent package. You're getting a pretty nice looking gun. That would be a nice start if you like customizing and making it look your own. You don't see a lot of these dual tone. I actually don't see a ton of Taurus 1911s in stores as it is. So when I saw this, I picked it up and I thought, oh hell, that's got a nice finish. Looks really nice. Fit and finish on it was really nice. There's maybe just a little bit of wobble, but not really anything out of its price range wise. Comparable to, you know, that $600 range 1911. But yeah, I think Taurus did a pretty good job with this. I'm interested to see what they will do, if they'll expand their lines. They've kind of done a we'll say, okay, it's a reimagining of their original PT 1911 model. So now they just kind of say 1911. They don't have the PT on it. It's really, you know, they're really just coming a long ways with it. But yeah, let me know what you think. I do want to note this, on their website, which I'll free the camera here. On the website, you can see there's a nice Taurus engraving, right there. As you can see, I do not have that. So I don't know if they dropped that out in the newer lines or if that came out or if this is an older model and that was a newer feature, or if they just took it out for cost cutting to save on that engraving. It's just kind of funny, not necessarily matching the picture on their website. But yeah, so I don't know, let me know what you guys think, if you had any good luck with them, if you had any issues with them. I'll be sure to post you any updates if I run into any issues down the line in shooting this. But yeah, so all right, thanks for watching.